What is up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a Marvel Legends Builder-Figure. Shocking, right? As many of these toy hauls that I've been showing as of late, I know it's shocking that I finally completed one and going to do a Build-A-Figure as I open all of those in that line together one time and build this figure. If you want to check out this figure, stay tuned for the video. So before we get into all of this, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. This is going to be the Abomination wave. An abomination. Obviously, a big Hulk foe. Most of the, well, some of the figures in this line are very applicable. The rest I'm going to let my son play with. I have my toy helper right here. He's going to be making sure the world is safe for toys everywhere, or not so safe for toys everywhere. So let's start with the chess piece, which is from Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. So she is one of the figures that I'm like, meh. And it was interesting because in this one, they crossed the Gamerverse versus the traditional Marvel Legends stuff. So the Legends, the Gamerverse stuff from the recently released Avengers game that wasn't too great. And this is her flag. I'm not a huge Kamala Khan fan. Don't have nothing against her or anybody that likes her. It's just just not a big fan. Probably going to. So what I've been doing is for the figures that I am not too thrilled in having, that I really just got them for the purposes of the Build-A-Figure set. I've been letting him play with them. So this is Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel here. Typical garb, typical articulation. She's a little bit thinner. And so with all of these little bit thinner, they're a little bit wobbly in my mind. I don't know that there's really anything you can do about it. I mean, you've only got so much to work with, but she's got all the typical articulation points, and you can take off her arms, I think at the elbow, yep, as her power, if you will, is stretching like Mr. Fantastic. You can pop in those longer arms for her to reach for, all like that. And so we're going to give that to him and let him play with her. And this is the backside. So he's kind of gone, Abomination that is gone through various iterations where he's more reptilian in nature, more like the Hulk. You know, it's just who's ever drawing him. So it's more reptilian here with the spikes along the back. And then once the arms go in, we'll attach the front there. So let's go and put in one of his legs. So this is the last figure that I needed in this wave. This is one of the Gamerverse wave, and this is Iron Man. Nothing against Iron Man, again, just not a big fan, and certainly is one he's going to get to play with, which I'm sure he's happy about. He's jumping up and down over here, excited about it. So you got Iron Man. Seems a little loose at the start, but typical articulation up, down. Not a lot of flexibility that way. Obviously, there is that way, there, and there. And you can change out to have where the blast, if you will, is out one hand versus the other. So like you can make this have a fist and then this have the open hand, or you can have both hands or both open fist. And then out of the open hand is him blasting. So you can have it like that. So sorry about that. And when I let him play with the various stuff, the extra little pieces, I still keep in my bag with all the extra pieces so that they don't get lost. And this is one of the legs for the Abomination. It's not marked, but I'm assuming it's going to be the left leg. So that, well, that's what I figured. It went on too easy. So that's too easy. So put it on, screwed it around. First part of the Abomination. So let's take his little blast out of there. And you ready to play with him? Okay, there you go. You're welcome. And let's do the other one. The other leg, that is. Now, this, is, of course, is the leader, another Hulk foe, another gamma radiated Hulk foe. And so this one I wasn't too non-thrilled about getting because of his relationship to Hulk. Typical articulation at the ankles, knees, chest, and of course his was his brain, not his brawn. Just a regular run-of-the-mill leader figure in one of his little get-ups. Nothing super special. No machinery or nothing. I'm gonna leave it. And we got the other leg, which we're gonna put on. Right. So now, see his little inside claw there on either side. You can stand him up there. So let us do his other arm. We'll do this arm first. So this figure is the Rage figure. Rage, not sure when Rage made his first appearance. I know he was a member of the Avengers at one point. He was a member of the New Warriors at one point. To me, Rage never had that big backstory. You know, ran into some toxic stuff, came strong, wasn't just impervious, had an underwhelming costume, but very 90s-esque. Was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So, not a huge fan. Nothing against him, but just not a huge fan. You want him? All right. So he's getting a lot of them in this line. And this is going to be his right arm. All right. So because this is open, you can see where the socket goes into, how it goes like that. And his wrist circles that way and then goes inward. But, all right, so we'll might open that one later. So this was one that I liked, but I was like, I could have done without it. Trying to just for space wise be more selective, despite what my purchases lately have said. Be more selective about which ones I get. But he was in this wave, and so it was one of those kind of like the leader that I go, yeah, okay, we'll go with it. And that's Captain Marvel. In my mind, the better Captain Marvel. Marvel, of course, died from cancer and actually stayed dead. Typical articulation points. I don't like the way this one is colored. It looks like they made the mistake. Like if you see this right here, where that piece ends and then that one begins, it looks like they tried to overpaint that from the blue to the red, but did a very poor job on it. Same way right there. So not the best looking figure. It's already, you can see the red lines right there. So it's not very well painted. It's got the hole in the back. I don't know if that's a thought of doing something, but let's see about his articulation. Not very articulating here to be a flyer or Captain Marvel. Poor guy. Can't catch a break. But when I'm a fan, but when I got the Thanos figure, if you remember me opening that one, because a lot of the original battles that Thanos had, the guy that stopped him was Marvel. And so he's, of course, got the quantum bands right here. And so there you go. Not a very well articulating one, but you can make some cool scenes with him and Thanos for sure. And then he has the left arm. All right, so that one popped right in. So we are coming right along. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put the chest piece on. So the headless abomination. So he is pretty tall, as tall or taller than what the Hulk one is. So this is another one in that line that I was like, okay, well, thanks Marvel for making me buy figures I don't really want to complete the set. Of course, he had the head of the Abomination, and that's Mach 1. I think Mach 1 is a member of the Thunderbolts, which the Thunderbolts were villains that disguised themselves as heroes after the whole onslaught deal, and the heroes went away for a little while. So I think I'm correct in that. Leave me a comment down below if I'm not, or if I am too. But I don't remember what villain. I don't remember what villain he was, and I guess you could say, okay, the Thunderbolts. One iteration of the Thunderbolts, of course, was led by General Thunderbolt, which is Hulk's father-in-law and arch nemesis, the Red Hulk at one point, and that type of thing. But also the Thunderbolts, the original iteration was first appearance in Hulk. So I guess you could maybe tie that there, but I wasn't never a big fan of the Thunderbolts. They came out right as I was starting to lean out of comics, and just never really got into them. Dug the art. Mark Bagley did a great job on the art, but you got to pick some sometimes, and sometimes they're easier to pick than others. And this is one that I wasn't really interested in. So guess what? You get to play with that one. And then this is the head. As you can see, he's not very happy. I need to get the Abomination's first appearance in Tales to Astonish before it goes up. Same way with the leader's first appearance, because the leader's first appearance is in Tales to Astonish as well, and he's rumored to be in the She-Hulk, so that's going to make that book go up if I don't go ahead and get it. Trying to make sure that's on there pretty good. Yep. It's just kind of off there because the head's not like level like would do. Like this head is level on his shoulders, whereas his is kind of hunchbacked over from that. So it kind of looks kind of weird, but it's supposed to. Oh, Banner! So definitely one of the core big bads for Hulk. So going to be doing. I don't really like this iteration of him because he looks an awful lot like Killer Croc, but what do you do? Yep. So him and Hulk will battle it out. I am sure you'll be seeing pictures of that. Now, I had planned on this video only doing the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, which we've done 6. That was a 6-piece. There was a 7 set because the Captain America in that run, which I wasn't interested in getting. Luckily, it did not have any parts to Abomination, so I was able to elect not to get it. But my son's about to have Cal that I open up this one, even though this is not one he's going to get to play with. This one is not one he's going to get to play with. The reason why I got her, aside from the fact that she is part of the X-Men, was the Amazing Friends, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends deal. Of course, that was cool. This is the converted Peter Parker's apartment. If you recall, they would push a button or do a deal, and this little table would flip over and everything would turn around, and that was all his stuff. Amazing what computers were like back then as compared to now. So let's see what Angelica looks like. I'm trying to remember what Aunt May's dog name was, who is here. And she, of course, peered, and she's even her head's even movable, so that's kind of cool. She has a couple of hands that she can exchange them with, where both of them are doing this or both of them are doing this. And she has, the way they did the fire was to kind of curl it around, similar to the way they did the Sunspot, or you haven't seen it opened yet, but the Polaris figure. So they have another one like that as well, that you can kind of wrap that around there. And it gives the appearance that fire's kind of coiling out from there. Now, typical articulation points. We have some of the same stuff that you usually have with a thinner figure. She did change her costume at one point, but, her costume has pretty much been the same the whole time. I actually like, and then she also has a different head. We can change out. It's interesting. Try it like that. There we go. Kind of persnickety with the hair to pop that head back on her there, but that is her other. So instead of the wavy blowing hair in the wind type of look like this, You got the just hanging out with the crowd type of look, flowing hair like that. So very cool. And we'll put this on her there. And so there you go. So she was not part of any of the Build-A-Figure sets, just one of the Marvel Legends figures, part of the X-Men, part of the Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Where'd the dog go? What'd you do with the dog?
What man?
No, you can't keep the dog. So once I get through opening these boxes, I try to go and display them because I know this is what he does. He goes and takes them and claims them as his own, and then there's no telling where they'll end up at some point in the future. But I do appreciate you for watching this. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I do mystery boxes, comic book unboxings, live auctions, Build-A-Figures like this, and other things. Tell me what you thought about this Build-A-Figure. Want to again shout out the YouTube and Patreon channel members for their support, and also gocollect.com for all of your collecting questions. And so until next time, keep reading, keep collecting. Adios. You want to tell them bye?